say.
Where is it? Good afternoon, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hey,
You
Good
hear me?
afternoon.
I'm like, wait a minute. I was trying to get the main background, the overlay off, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't see it. Good afternoon, guys. You are now tuned in. I am Miss TML. We are here, Relationship Sundays. We have a very special guest with us today. They go by Dating Reset, Miss Wonder Hollingsworth and Walter Fry. Hi, guys.
Hi.
hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Welcome. Happy Sunday.
Thank you for having us. We are grateful and thankful to be here today.
Yes, we are. Thank you. Well, appreciate it. We love this collaboration.
Yes, I am here for it. And what you guys are doing is so important to us on our platform, and what we're doing with UpNorth City Girls as just a talk show, and just a open conversation about everyday life relationships. And that's what our focus point is in regards to this show, and why I thought you guys would be a great fit, because I believe relationships are part of it. Relationships are part of dating, in any form, so that's where I was like, listen, we have to get you guys on. We have to introduce you to our network, because me being, a 40 plus female, I feel like it's a struggle right now in the dating world. And, just finding my place and finding my balance in life is hard, just, and I find so many women that are single in this generation, in my generation right now, and they're not looking to settle down, and they're not looking for commitment. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, why, what have we lost here in life, and how do we get it back? So when I seen Dating Reset, and I thought, this is wonderful, this is a great platform for us to spotlight and have on our show, that we just basically started this new chapter of Relationship Sundays, and starting with you guys is very important for me. So, welcome.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, we're excited about that. So, do you want us to tell you about the vision and mission of Dating Reset?
Yeah. What was the inspiration behind Dating Reset? Like, what sparked that? Like, okay, this is what we're gonna do.
Okay, so I started Dating Reset, and the concept came about when I've been married for 17 years, and my husband and I had separated for the last 3 years, and then we were at a standstill in the relationship, and it was this like, okay, I'm ready to start getting out there, and I'm ready to start dating, because the relationship ended, but it was just a matter of filing paperwork. So I started having conversations with people, and I was, friends and family said, Wanda, you need to start getting out there, and you need to start dating. It's been over 3 years, and you've just been stagnant. Right, I had no desire. I had no desire. Coming out of a long relationship, I had to take time to focus on me. You lose yourself. When you're in a relationship, a long-term relationship, you lose yourself. You forget your favorite color. You forget what you like. You forget a lot of things about yourself. So I took that time to rediscover myself, my needs, my wants, accountability, the part I played in the relationship failing, self-awareness. So I took time to do all of that. And then I said to myself, oh my God, I'm hearing these nightmares about dating. And why is it so difficult? Because once I worked on myself and my self-awareness, I knew what I wanted. But I found that when I had these conversations with individuals, most of them don't even know what they want. They don't even know what they're looking for in relationships. So I wanted to
absolutely.
So the goal is to reset, and everyone's pointing the fingers at each other. The males are pointing the fingers. I have a lot to bring. I have a lot to bring to the table. I know my worth, but yet we have all these single people. Yeah, and everyone was pointing fingers at each other, and there was no accountability. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, we just need to reset this mindset. So the goal of Dating Reset is to reset the mindset on how we're thinking about dating and, you know, how we're moving along in this world with dating. Walter, you have anything to add?
Well, you know, the thing is, when I met Wonder, you know, we was talking about, you know, dating and what's going on. And she was just like, I don't understand, you know, the manipulations, the ghosting, the, you know, not being honest, you know, the lack of communications, lack of emotional intelligence and everything else. And I was just like, wow. And I know I've had lots of conversations with people, but I always hear, you know, women, there are no good men. And then I hear guys say there are no good women. I said, well, somebody's lying because, you know, there's a whole lot of people that are single, but everyone will say, I'm a good man or I'm a good woman. Well, someone is certainly lying here. I don't know what it is. But so we just started talking, and she just asked me to be a co-host to this whole thing because I have dated in my lifetime and I have gotten it wrong a whole lot. So
I think we can all jump in on there and say we've all been kind of dragged when it comes to relationships because we're making ourselves vulnerable to other people.
Yes.
You know, and in the process, it's kind of like Wonder said, you lose your identity sometimes, depending on how long you've been in a relationship, because you start to play a role of people pleasing. After the people pleasing, it becomes like a role of walking on eggshells, you know, the blaming game. You guys become kind of competition, right? Instead of supporting each other. And so you lose the main aspect of what the whole dating thing was like. And now a lot of people, you know, they just start running in this circle of warfare between each other until they demolish the whole relationship. You can't even salvage like the friendship part of it anymore. I see a lot of people date and afterwards they hate each other. And I feel like in order for you to even heal and move ahead, one, accountability, but two, remembering that person for when you love them. It's so much easier when you put in your head all the good times that you had than the bad times, because when it comes to the bad times, we all participate. We all believe that we're good, that we're doing the right thing, and everybody's good until everybody's mad. And then you see the good in everybody.
Well, that's what our show is about, you know, dating reset. We have to shine the light and, you know, highlight the importance of that step in wherever we're going to go with a relationship. The dating process. The dating process is your vetting time, you know, and hopefully if we highlight and make dating really important, maybe we can eliminate these mistakes wherever you're going to go in your relationship, be it with somebody or hooking up with somebody or whatever the case is. Don't take it so casual, because it is an important step. It's like the first step of any child. It's important. You know, we have to watch that. So that's what we are about here at Dating Reset. You know, we want to start conversation and exchange knowledge and experiences and everything else. And hopefully, you know, we can avoid some of these mistakes in terms of relationships if we know what we're doing.
Yeah. On Dating Reset, we don't provide advice. It's strictly conversational, and we highlight important topics, important things that you should be doing in your relationship, like transparency. It's important to be transparent with your needs and your wants when you're dating. And some people tend to hide things. So it's important to ask the correct question. Sometimes we don't ask the question that we need to get the answers that we need. and red flags. We ignore red flags for whatever reason. We always get that gut instinct. We always see the red flags, but we ignore them for one reason or another. And it's mainly because of potential. You see potential in people. I'm all set with potential. You know,
right. I'm all set with that. And listen, you gotta come already made, baby. You gotta come already put together over here. I'm at that point in life.
Right. But we have to recognize.
You know, and I'm like, listen, I like now. Is it me? Am I wrong for asking for more or wanting or expecting more? Like sometimes I question myself because I'm like, you know, yeah, I don't want to say I have high standards, but I do. I have high expectations at this point in life of my significant other, of the person I choose to have on my arm, to have support me and be there as at representing me. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to play the fool this late in life. You know what I'm saying? I think that's, you know, that's my fear of dating at this point. Like people say to me, what's your dating life like? It is none. Like I don't even consider it, you know, with the career and the life and work and everything else that goes on in my life right now. I'm like, I don't have the time to figure people out. That's always my excuse. I don't want to have to figure someone out. Yeah. Like I want you to be so transparent with me that
I can see your intentions.
I can see in between the lines everywhere. Like, and people are just not like that anymore. It's this illusion. It's this facade. It's this. And I'm like, it's scary because like I said, I'm more scared now. I was very optimistic. That was one of the things that I thought about the other night in, you know, my little thoughts before bed. And I said, you know, life made me fear optimism and being optimistic about people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was young and optimistic and always had the best, you know, expectations of people, and then people hurt me, and then people showed me that they're not who they claim to be, or they're not the people that they're showing me, you know, in front of me. And that scared me. You know, it's trauma. I always say it's post-traumatic dating disorder. I have post-traumatic dating disorder, honestly, because of all the things that you think you're doing right, and you court these people and you do the right things, and it still ends up being they're playing a game. And
did you say court?
Or you're just not.
Did you say court?
That's old.
Yeah.
Did you say court? You know, that's really old school thinking, and that's very. But see, that's the thing about dating. Dating has so many purposes. You know, you can date for courting purposes. You can date for hookups. You can date for this. You can date for a lot of different things. So we have to be clear about what one of the questions we ask is, why are you dating? Why are you dating? Right. You know, is there an end to this? But like you said, we tend to intertwine dating and turn what should be a dating period into dating / relationship. And, you know, before we know it, we're in a relationship, and we haven't given the dating period the proper time to vet the person. And that's what we're talking about, to try to eliminate that mistake, you know, and be aware of that. I think with knowledge, you know, we can achieve a whole lot more.
Yeah. Right. And what I found also is that some people date for a long period of time. Then you're spending the night at his house, he's spending the night at your house, and you didn't even have the conversation about where are we in this, what stage are we in? That people don't even have that conversation anymore. They just assume that they're in relationships. Yes. And that's we'll skip the steps.
I'm guilty of that.
We'll skip the steps. I mean, they go from talking to the person coming over, and all of a sudden they're living together. And it's like,
you leave that toothbrush, you leave that later,
it's like, oh, I want you to get out of my house. Oh, but I gave up my stuff to come here. Well, I didn't ask you to.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, it starts with that one sneaker. It starts with that one sneaker. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'll get it later.
And I think that's why looking out for the red flags is important. You know, I mean, talking to someone, getting to know them first. I feel like today a lot of people consider dating sex. Is sex really dating?
Right.
Right.
Have you had a conversation about it?
Yeah, dating is a lot of things. You know, it's really, you gotta kind of self-define it, but you should have some guidelines. You know, you should have some guidelines for what it is. You know, to mix it up.
Yeah.
You know, it really is a vetting period. You know, it's a vetting period. I need to know who you are inside and out, back and forth, you know, before we take that next step into something else.
So for me, I'm not fearful of dating because I've done the shadow work. I know what I'm looking for, and I know the questions to ask. For me is, do I want to spend? I don't want to date Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like I don't want to be out there dating 5 or 6 people at a time.
That's right.
So my thing is, I just want to be able to. I'm not afraid. I'm open to it. I just want to be able to attract. I think you attract, your energy attracts certain type of people, and I've noticed now that I've done the work, I am attracting people on my level. That's where I'm at, but it's sort of like, I don't know if I want the time I'm so set in my ways right now. I don't know if I want to spend that time doing it anymore because I'm comfortable where I'm at.
That's right.
And Todd, you're in your comfort zone right now. You're at the point where you're busy with your career. You have your hands in a bunch of other things. Do you really want to spend time? Do you really have time vetting?
Right. And it's like sacrificing. It's a real sacrifice for me at this point in life. Like I always say, time is my biggest, concern. Is I don't want to waste time on the wrong people. I don't want to, have an attachment or a bond with a soul that is not meant for me. And I say that with, sincerity and respect to anybody that, is ever tried to pursue me or anything like that. Is that, I'm at a point in life that I can't make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just at that point with love and with life and who I allow into my energy and my circle. Like I can't make mistakes anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's the people that you really feel connected with for me at this point in life. And I have to have that connection and that transparency and that loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's much to ask at this point in life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, those are the things that you would want out of a partner. I think I was in the beginning of life, I think I was just too lenient in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? I was very free-spirited, and I always felt like, I don't want to tie no one down. I don't want to feel like, I'm making you stay or trapping you in a situation. So I never was the aggressor in, relationships. And sometimes I feel like those are the people that win. Are the people who are aggressive about their relationship, who are like, where are you? What are you doing? When are you coming home? Like, and I'm like,
they're not. No, they're not.
Those are the people that still see
that is a red flag right there. Red flag.
But is it me, you guys? But it's like toxic relationships are winning in 2024. It's sad to say, but
because you haven't done the work in your dating. You haven't done your work in your dating.
Yeah,
and
it circles back to the dating and
it all comes back to the dating and what.
Yes. And that's what Walter and I are focused on with the podcast, is that it all starts with dating, and it all starts with us. We are so quick to point the finger at the other person, and we really need to take a look in the mirror at ourselves. We are accountable for what goes on in our lives. And it's up to us, and we have to make those judgment calls, whether this person's a good fit for you or not, and stop looking at the potential. Stop looking at, oh my God, but he's so fine.
How about when we say, it's just that one thing? That one thing.
Right, exactly. We make excuses. We make excuses. We give a pass to things. But like you said earlier, dating today is not the same as it was 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It's very different. That's part of what we're about, is navigating through this, and understanding it. You know, that's like you said. I mean, the game, in my opinion, has not changed. The goals are still the same, but man, I will tell you, the techniques, the verbiage, and everything else is all changed. The splitting of the hairs. This was either you're dating or you're not. Now it's like, well, no, we're hooked up. But no, we're not really that. We're friends with benefits. Situationships. And I mean, it's just like, anything that will allow you to get out of something is how we start to try to define things.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think today and day it's really important for you to set your boundaries and your expectations right up front. I mean, one of the questions that I hate that people ask me is, oh, what do you expect or what do you like out of? I'm not telling you what I expect or what I like. How about you tell me what your goals are? How about you tell me what your goals are and where you're heading in life? And then I'm going to see, where your mindset is at. And if it's where my mindset is at, then maybe we can talk, maybe I can invest a minute or two into you. But if it's not like that, I don't want it. I've gone through relationships where I feel like I gave more than what I received. And I don't know, the tables were always kind of wobbly, and being a mom and trying to date too is
you got to tighten up on your dating game. You got to tighten up on the dating game so you don't make those trips and falls.
I think the next 10 years.
With yourself. You really have to sit down and have a conversation with yourself. Why are you dating? Your wants and your needs. What is that one thing you're willing to bend a little bit on? You have to know what you want. Oftentimes, we don't even know what we want. We're asking people to give us something that we don't even know what we want. So you need to, before you get out there and date, you need to know what you want, your expectations, what you're not going to settle for, what you're willing to settle for, and then go from there.
And like Walter said, like when he said the thing about, people always say, oh, I want a good man, or, I'm looking for a good woman, but are you a good man? Are you a good woman? You know what I'm saying? What you're looking for, are you able to match what you're looking for? Because a lot of times that's what I felt like. I'm like, listen, I got to get my stuff together before I go off dating and trying to pursue somebody. I got to have all my ducks in line. I got to make sure I have my career, my goals, and the things that I want in line. And especially, after being married, I was like, listen, I like you said, Wonder, it basically, you lose your own identity. I didn't know what it was like to be single, for so long. I was somebody's wife. I don't know how to be somebody's booty call anymore. I don't know how to be somebody's jump off. I don't know how to be that. I was somebody's wife for 10 years. Like, I didn't have this level of, now I have to go out and figure you out again. You know what I mean? And figure out what I like and figure out what I want, like you said. And I'm still searching, I guess, that, after so many years, I'm like, I don't know, I'm scared. But I feel like the internet has played a big factor in dating. And it's the biggest, in the beginning, I loved it. I was like, oh yeah, you can find people from all over the world. Now I'm like, it's too many options. It's too many people trying to pursue you at once that you can't really focus. I don't want to keep answering the same questions over and over again.
That's the life of digital dating.
That's our next topic.
And I think that people have become unrealistic too with their expectations. I mean, how much can you know behind the picture? How much can you know about a person, through writing? I think that one of the most important things when you're going to date is, like you said, Wanda, I think that you need to go through self-healing. You need to go take accountability for where you've been, what you've been through, go heal your traumas, ground yourself again. Go back to that place when you was happy before you even started dating, before anything. Find the things that make you happy. And then that way, when you go out, it's not going to be too hard for you to distinguish what you want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with. You know?
True. Yes. Self-awareness.
You have to go back to that place of self-love in order to have, I think, a valuable relationship, no matter where you go, because you're a representation of yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Couldn't agree with that more.
So how are you guys going to run your podcast? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? Or is it, I know it's on Facebook, but is it streaming anywhere else?
It's currently not streaming. I came up with this vision and we're crawling right now. We're learning as we go.
9 shows.
We're 9 shows in. We are growing. We're growing.
We're babies at it.
Yeah. So right now, solely on Facebook right now, and yeah, so eventually the uniqueness with Dating Reset is we would like to have guests come to the studio and sit down, because it's more personable when you're in person, you're having these conversations. And
That's right.
Absolutely.
we like to bring that vibe on social media. Like, we're in person, we're having these conversations, because, you know, COVID, everything was Zoom, everything, because of COVID, everyone started doing these Zooms. And, you know, I think that's a missing piece too. People are there's not that personal contact anymore, that first engagement. When you meet someone out there dating, you used to meet someone out there, you walk up to the person, oh my God, you know, you're beautiful.
Right.
And you have a conversation. Right. Now people are like sliding in your DMs, and it's just so impersonable. And I think that's the missing piece. So it is. Back that sit on the couch. Let's have this conversation about the current state of dating.
So we're on every 2 weeks, bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Bi-weekly. Okay. I definitely.
But we are switching. We are switching from our current Fridays to Thursdays soon. So we're making announcements about stuff like that. So that's going to be on our site, our Facebook page. That announcement and that change. So that's what we're doing. And, you know, we invite everyone that is watching today to like and share Dating Reset and join us in this discussion, you know, and change the mindset.
Yes, please follow us on Facebook, Dating Reset. We would greatly appreciate it.
Where are you located?
Brockton.
In Brockton, Massachusetts?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's awesome. We definitely have to come support you guys. I definitely want to see you guys do great things. And I think it's a great, you know, platform to speak about, because, you know, dating in the 20th is a work. It's an exercise. It's a practice. You know? I've had some ideas, and, you know, people used to call me the matchmaker, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't do that no more. Like, that ship has sailed for me, you know, but I was thinking about we have an idea that we're going to bring to this platform, and I want you guys to be a part of it, because I think that, you know, this definitely should, you know, support is real, you know, modern day dating, and how to get to those steps. And, you know, I just think that we need to have more education. Like you said, Walter, it's knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Knowledge is power. And the more powerful we are in dating, the better we'll choose, you know, our partners and our mates.
Yes.
So I think it's, you know, it's a practice, like I said, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And it's happening. I just want you guys to know that, you know, it doesn't end here. You're always welcome to come back, share whatever you like. And April Marie has been so quiet. I feel like she's muted. She's boiling over there with questions.
No, I've definitely been listening. I mean, long story short, I was in a relationship close to like 10 years. So everything you talked about, like, we're not together, but we co-parent wonderfully. He's like the best like partner I could ask for in that aspect. As far as relationship wise, it didn't work. Now that I'm single, I definitely realize can go back and recognize the red flags in everywhere that I went wrong. So now going forward, I'm not trying to date right now because I'm running a business and taking care of my son and working. So I'm not even thinking about dating. And I'll be honest, him and I still have a relationship when it comes to, because honestly, I don't have time to catch anything out there. And I know that him and I are just with him and I. So it's like, and I don't want to, you know, I'm like,
I had the same thing. I'm like,
you know,
that's what women today. Right. Like, you rather deal with the devil you know than the devil you don't. Like,
exactly. You know, but if somebody comes along, you know, I definitely know what I want this time around. I know what I'm not going for. I know what the deal breaker is for me. potential, yeah, that word is the devil to me. Like you already like
the old banana in the tailpipe, right?
yeah. I mean, I'm even to the point where if you have kids, I have stipulations on that because I'm not dealing with baby mama drama again. So if they're not at the age where they can't just frequently go and see you without having to go through the mom, yeah, nope, cut. I don't care.
I don't. Yeah, I said the same
Not
thing.
dealing with that.
That's
And I don't
always
care
been
that I
mine.
have a 19-month-old. I know there's not going to be that on my end. I will run so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I had dealt with something like that, April. I mean, I had met someone and I didn't know that this person had somebody expecting, and long story short, instead of cutting them off, I kind of like gave them the chance. But then the baby mama called me more than she called him. He ain't picking up my calls and and on ambulance rides and all this stuff. And my heart aches for her because I'm a woman at the end of the day. And I know what it feels like to have a broken heart. And, I was sitting there talking to him, but I'm like, hold on. Am I your referee, your judge?
Right.
You're still with me, but this person obviously hasn't closed the chapter. You guys have unresolved business, and long story short, I don't think that I could probably date another man with a child unless he has set boundaries with his baby mother, has some type of stipulation in place, like through the court, or that they're very I had mothers calling me, texting me. I had people calling me out my name. I was a single woman. I was a single female. I hold my own down. I work. I get my own money. I take care of my own kids. I don't require anything. All I require is for you to come honest, open, and ready. And
I guess we're gonna have to do a dating register, right? Background checks on potential people, right?
Yeah.
I stopped to learn myself, and I stopped, and that's what I said. I said, moving forward, let me take this time to heal myself too from my past traumas. That way I don't misunderstand somebody or, kind of like project what I went through with this individual on someone else. But right now I'm at a place that as soon as you get 4 words in, I'm smiling at you. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, after this conversation, I don't think so. My time is money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
No, I cannot send you a picture. No, I cannot tell you anything that is not true. And please don't, respectfully. Sorry. Yeah, we're not going there.
I think the modern day women, we're very, I think, profound in our way of thinking and how we feel. And I think that's the difference now. Like you said, Wonder, like before you were scared to say it. You were scared to say your wants and your needs and your, desires and how you expect it to be treated. And women, I think sometimes it's the rejection. I think on both sides, men and women, like they don't want to be rejected. Nobody wants to feel, like they're putting themselves out there or, putting their heart on their sleeve. It's like the chase. It's like everybody wants to be chased and desired, but nobody wants to be loved. You know what I'm saying? It's weird. Because
it is weird.
It that's the part that, like you said, I want to see what, ideas and different conversations and what people have to say on your platform about, the dating and how we get back there. Cause I'm there. I'm right there with you. Dating reset all day.
One of the things that we are experiencing is, we have to bring guys to the table. Yeah. Guys are real reluctant for whatever, well, for a few reasons that I know, but they're real reluctant to share their thoughts. Be like, they'll do it at the bar, they'll do it hanging out on a corner somewhere or whatever. But all right, let's put it out and let's talk about it with other women. They're, not gonna do it.
And I think it's the whole being vulnerable and the ego and probably, going through some type of past events in their life that make them feel kind of like embarrassed to share their stories. I think guys, a lot of people misinterpret men and think that men just don't have no feelings because they got the straight face all the time and that I don't care attitude. And there's some men that are really broken down inside, that don't have a self-esteem, that they just run right off of their ego. They love to gaslight. They, Oh, what is he? I sit back and I always say, if a man always asks me, what does another man got? I don't know if I could talk to you anymore, because I don't know either. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know you inside. Only you know you. So if you're questioning me about someone else, are you insecure?
Guys will talk with guys all day long. We'll talk amongst ourselves.
No, I feel
like work. We're both in this, man and woman. We're in this together.
Right.
We need to have that conversation together in group, whatever the case is. That's the conversation we need to have, not just women to women and men to men. Me, the only guy here currently, whatever the case is, but no, we need to
held it down.
We need to have more men involved in this conversation, to get it to a better place. We're important. Men are important, as are the women. We're important.
That's
we're
right.
important individually, and we're important together.
Yeah, and I just want to piggyback off of that. When people think of dating reset, they think of it in terms of being single, and that they can only have this conversation. We can only have this conversation with single people. But there's people who have dated. They can share their experiences, and it's very valuable. You don't have to be single to add value to the conversation. So we would like to welcome married couples, people in relationships, to come on the podcast and talk about their experiences, because they can add something valuable to the people that are single out here. You know what I mean? Right. So I just wanted to bring that perspective as well to the platform.
I love it.
That's a great perspective.
I love it. I'm here for it. Anything you guys need. Just DM away.
Well, how about being on the show? Be a guest on the show.
Yes, but we definitely have to collab, because like I said, I had this dating idea, and I'm like, people are like, oh, you should do like a matchmaker thing. And I'm like, and I had a lot of people respond during COVID. It was crazy. Like, about if I told them if I did a dating show, how many people would be interested. And it was like crazy. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll sponsor a date per month, and, have a restaurant basically sponsor it. And we basically, set up the cameras and, get the whole dating experience. But we're also going to be coaches in the background, kind of giving, the guy and the girl pointers and how to engage and how to, because I think a lot of that, like you said, is people don't have that information, or they don't have that structure. They're not dating. They're just hooking up. They're just, oh, I like your eyes. Oh, I like your lips. I like,
Is this that Cyrano de Bergerac kind of thing where he writes the letters and the notes and give it to the guy, and he goes off and says it to the girl?
Do you like me or not?
Do you like me or not?
I'm dating myself in terms of things. Yes, I get it.
But I mean, it's a profile. I think it's a chemistry too. You know what I'm saying? Like with dating, like, so if we, have people and participants who enter and they have certain dating profiles that they have to fill out, and, you get to know their interests and the things like that, and you kind of play matchmaker. And some are hit or miss. Speed dating, I did that a couple of times. And that for me was like the most awkward situation ever, because I'm like, I don't want the other guy that I just talked to think I like the next guy that's coming along. Like, he was a good guy, but now I got to figure out, is this a good guy? Like, now I'm confused. Like, I think that was I don't think this is gonna work for me. Like, yeah, no, this is too much. I'm a likable person, so who's not gonna like me? You know what I mean? Like, that's where I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know about this. This ain't the type of, dating style I want to do. So I think getting to know somebody and asking the right questions, you know what I'm saying, on a date. I think that sparks it. You know what I'm saying? It sparks the mind to really wonder about a person and want to know more about people. When people have intrigue, when they intrigue you, I think that's the part that it sparks that interest of who is this person, and I want to know, so. It starts with a conversation that we need to have. So I'm excited.
Yes, me too. Thank you for having us.
Yes. Any other questions? Anything else you guys want to say before we end? I know we have to get into trending topics. We have so many people that have tuned in through Dating Reset. I don't know who they are, but I'm going to shout them out. It looks like Tina and LaDawn. Tina and LaDawn, do you know who either one of these people are?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I think LaDawn is still on, but I can bring her in. Toya hasn't actually joined yet, so I'm just gonna remove her for a second.
Okay.
Let's try to bring LaDawn in and just say hey.
I don't think
LaDawn?
LaDawn wants to be in the question.
Hi, LaDawn. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Hi,
Good
LaDawn.
afternoon.
LaDonna.
LaDonna.
Yes.
Madonna. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't see. Hold on, the light is glistening over here. So it says you're the owner of the Parse Group Event Services. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay. Okay. So I am a entrepreneur. I am 50 plus. I'm in a relationship. Have been for 12 years. I'm a good friend of Walter's and newly introduced to Wonder.
Okay.
And so far, so good, great. And I love being a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's being in a relationship is different. I love being here. This is kind of cool, especially on a Sunday. So I wasn't expected to kind of verbally talk.
No, I
But
just wanted to get you in because I felt like you was in here with us, but I just didn't know who you were. So I was like, let's get her on. If she's a part of Dating Reset, I want to just tell you thank you for supporting and definitely come back and tell us about your services. We're all about entrepreneurship and welcoming people that have great, talents and just great things to offer to the world. So
thank you so much.
welcomes you and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, guys. Anything else before we wrap up with Dating Reset? April Marie, do you have any other questions?
No other question except I'm not sure if we touched on what makes you guys your podcast stand out from other dating podcasts that are out there right now.
So I think what's unique about Dating Reset is that we're focusing on the beginning before you get into the relationship. A lot of the other podcasts are focusing on the relationship once you're in the relationship and what you can do to fix it and talk about cheating and all of that within the relationship. And Dating Reset is focused on avoiding all of that, trying to avoid all of that before you get into the relationship. Also, one of the uniquenesses we have, we're in person. We have people come on to the podcast and have a conversation about the dating stages and experiences, as opposed to having it solely online. That's one of the uniqueness as well. Walter.
And we just started out, like I said, we're just 9 shows in, so we are growing, and we just want to focus in on the dating aspect, and like she said, leave the relationship part alone.
Stay in our own lane.
Yeah, we want to stay in our own lane, cruise in our own lane. We do our own research and and things like that. And it's just conversation.
Yes.
It's not advice. That's not where we are. We're not able to advise you how to fix something.
Yeah.
We just hope the information that we give you is something that is useful to you and you can apply it to your life. That's what this is, just information.
Right.
And we're just dating and we're testing out all kinds of media. This podcast is something, the way you're doing this now is something that we are looking into doing. Still learning.
Yeah, we're still learning.
Well, any help that you guys need, I'm here for it.
Thank you.
To try to help and inspire people and motivate them, in this podcast journey. This is our 4th season. So we've been doing this since COVID, UpNorth City Girls. And, this is our 4th year. And it's grown so much. I've been able to, separate the conversational talk, trending topics with the interviews with artists, which I do more specialize in. Is that part of it now, is just doing the artist interviews and things like that. But we also have, still our Sundays to capitalize on different worldly events and conversations about relationships. I felt like our relations in life is everything is relation, whether it be work, whether it be, your children, parent, mother, we have, everybody here is a mother, except for me, I'm an auntie, but, I feel like we all have relations in life that we need to talk about, and we need to have that open conversation about. So that brings me to our next topic next week. We're going to be having my cousin. He's actually a multi-producer. He's out of the Boston area. He's going to be in Columbia, but we're going to talk about dating in the industry. And I think that's important to talk about, because in the entertainment industry, there's a certain level of, different standards, expectations, and, it's hard, and it's challenging. And, I used to always say, can't, don't mix business with pleasure, but being in the industry that I'm in, it's hard not to. It's hard to not have those relationships with people that you're with more consistently, you know what I'm saying, than your own family sometimes, than your own, significant other, whether it be studio, whether it be, going on tour, or, different things like that. You're amongst these people constantly all the time. And that's how, a lot of relationships develop. So it's like, we have to have those conversations, and I just want to be here for those type of conversations this year with you guys as well. So anything I can do to support, I'm here for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you guys. Have a great day. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Yay. All right. That was so awesome.
That was.
Yeah,
that was absolutely awesome. I love the vibe. I love the chemistry, and I'm here for it.
I think they're gonna do amazing.
Yeah.
Moving forward as they to grow. I think they're gonna attract a good amount of a good amount of interested people that would like to conversate about relationships, especially now in 2020.
Right.
Well, that was our reason, April, too. Right? Like, I felt like we, had real conversations about everyday life and relationships, and just, the different things that we go through in life with just different people in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be coworkers, whether it be, significant others, whether it be our parents. These are all relations. These are all relative to us in life. So I think that, having these open platforms and discussions on a Sunday, because it's a testimony. It's, your journey. It's part of, us understanding from each other. Each one teach one. And our experiences ultimately will shape or mold someone else's thought, sometimes. So it's like, my grandmother and everybody used to always tell me, you need to learn from my mistakes. You need to learn, from the things I'm telling you. But I had to make those mistakes sometimes. But in the back of my mind, I knew they had told me, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. And you learn, sometimes you got to be hard-headed. And, and then the next time it comes around, you're like, no, I ain't going to do that again. You know what I'm saying? I learned from my mistake. It's definitely challenging, in this life, just with relations and relationships with people. So,
and I do believe you have to learn your own lessons. I mean, part of human being human is the curiosity part. Like, if I don't try, what if?
Right.
And so you keep going, even though, the relationship either gets better or gets heavier, depending on, what it is you guys are dealing with.
Right.
And a lot of people don't know how to just let go. I feel like a lot of people have even the wrong concept of loyalty and what the meaning of loyalty is. That'll be a whole conversation for another day.
Right. All right. So next week we got D Sharp coming. He's gonna be talking to us about dating in the industry, and he has some stories, I guarantee you. He's definitely a ladies' man, my guy, my family. And I'm looking forward to what's to come for this show. I think that, getting people like Wonder and Walter and people who are positively having open discussions about, dating is important. Like, positive conversations about parent relationships with their children. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it's all
around topics.
All around topics that everywhere. Like, it's a lot of toxic garbage being spewed out here, and it's time for us to change the narrative. And give people a real, like he said, research and education, and just the information. Like, information is free, for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
So I know we had some trending topics that we want to talk about, and I did take some clips. So I'm going to bring them up right now because April Marie, we have to get into the whole Diddy situation. And so I just want to start with the few headlines that I seen that I snapped and shared and left my little blog for. Young Miami accused of court documents of transported pink cocaine for Diddy. What's this one? Let's see. Yeah, this is where he said that she transported it on a plane. Then we have 50 seeking sole custody of his son after Daphne Joyce's
little sex worker accusation.
Yeah. And then we have Kimora Lee's and Russell Simmons' daughter, the youngest one, I believe, is now dating a multi-billionaire, older gentleman. And there's a lot of controversy behind that. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about some things and, see what you guys have to say. Oh, and this was my other thing. We're going to have a real discussion about this. April, are you looking? Conjoined twin so is now married to U.S. Army veteran Josh Bauer. I think that's what it says at the end. I can't see because of the scroll. Let me just take that off. So yeah, these are the conversations. Josh Bowling. So yeah, these are the conversations we're gonna have on the next couple of relationship Sundays. How do you deal with relationships like this? And we're gonna just open up the conversation for discussion, but we can just touch upon them. I know you guys, want to get back to your Sunday stuff, but yeah, let's talk about Diddy, April.
I'm patiently waiting for the documentary Surviving Diddy because, like,
yeah, I mean, I am too.
What is going on?
And I want to know if J-Lo's gonna come play a part, right? Because wasn't she his first girlfriend back in the day?
I mean, but she had enough sense to get the hell out. Because as soon as that happened,
did she have sense or
did she no. When that nightclub incident happened and
J-Lo was done.
She was like, I'm all set. She was just starting out. She's like, I don't need this.
Right. Yeah, but she was already with them. So I think she kind of knew what was already going on. And she was smart, definitely. To get
away. You see, she didn't date no more black men after that.
What did I tell you?
Yes.
I just see she went to bed, right?
She was like, listen.
She was right over with Anthony, actually. And then she was like, okay, Mark.
Right.
And then after that, but I like where she's at right now. I mean, I feel like her and Ben are just a thing. I think they was always.
I keep hearing stuff, so I don't know if they're on the rocks or what. Because I've heard rumors, so I don't really know if they're working out.
They're already pushing their 60s. They just.
I know.
I'm like, it's down. But I don't know, because even look at Shakira.
Yeah.
She went and got herself a fine man. I said, ooh.
Did she ever have kids?
Yes, I believe she had a daughter with her husband.
I feel like she stays quiet. You don't never really hear too much drama involving Shakira.
Ever. Her husband put her through a scandal, but now she's in her life.
Right.
She got herself a new man. A chocolate one, probably giving her some chocolate.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So you go, Shakira.
So let's get back to Diddy, because I mean, there's a lot of speculations. Now I'm seeing something that said he's cloned, just because of the weight transition, how he looked from the airport to how he looks being, escorted by the feds, and they had multiple pictures that, and I did see
do that to you.
wet, but he looked like overweight. I'm like, are you like, usually stress makes you either overeat or extra,
Well,
not
that's right. And in
you know
his
what I
case,
mean?
he may be stress eating. Oh no, matter of fact, he may be drinking. Drinking bloats you and puts on weight too and makes, because I know plenty of people that are huge, and I'm like, you the pickiest eater, but he's a drinker.
Yeah.
So he could be drinking, not eating, and that's what's got him putting on that weight. Because my uncle looks like that when he gets his drink on, he looks all bloated, and so
Yeah. So that's where I was like, dude, I mean, my thing is that there's always been speculations, as you know, April, we follow hip hop journalism, you know what I'm saying? There's always been Diddy speculations. There's always been people that have outright said that, there's a lot of things going on at Bad Boy, and there's a certain secret society, Mace, Shine just did an interview where he outed Diddy and 50 for basically sabotaging his career. Mace and Betha, that was a big thing, and in regards to, I seen that and witnessed that, how he blackballed him. And who was it? It was him and Cameron. They was doing, about to do a show, whatever, and then the next thing you know, it got blackballed. And it was like,
wait, really?
Yeah, that was the whole thing, that why May started going crazy. Like, y'all don't really know him. You're like, the things that they do and they expect you to do, under him is not right to my religion and not right to my standards. And he said some things like, anybody who could tell you the real truth about Diddy is dead. Black Rob, Biggie. Like, I was like, yo, he was naming people that I was like, yo, you can't lie about, these things and these incidents that have happened and the cover up. I think a lot of it has to do with money. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
I feel like Diddy done pissed off the wrong people and the higher ups, and you done pissed, and your time's up, brother. Like, now all your shit under the can is gonna come out, and it's like, listen, this is the crucifying time. Like, this is like where you get crucified. They did it to Kanye, they did it to Bill Cosby, they did it to Cat Williams, they did it, it's so many people that you can look at and you could be like, okay, they might have had secrets in certain situations. And R. Kelly, like, how many years did people cover it up?
Yeah.
How long did he have the money until he didn't have any more money to cover it up? But
you know what? Shame on.
And that's gonna happen to Diddy.
Shame on them, because you know what?
Shame on them.
Like, you did this.
You thought you was gonna get away with it.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of people in this industry, that they don't understand that behind this money that they go and sacrifice for, the consequences come. Because if you make a pact with anybody, just know that the enemy doesn't sleep. So if you sleep 8 hours and you got the other 12, he goes 24. So if you ask for 100 years of great life, you're only going to end up with 50. And probably by the 40th, you're going to start going downhill. A lot of these people, they're all supposedly part of, some type of sacrificing thing. And they've all admitted in one way or another that they did partake in it, And I believe that within the next couple of years, we're going to see a lot more exposure of what.
But Corinne Steffens wrote this book 20 years ago about behind the industry and how many undercover brothers there were, and how, there was so many things that I like. This is why I don't ever think it's nothing is far-fetched for me when it comes to the media. You know what I'm saying? Because there's some truth, there's something behind it. I believe in, what do you call that show? My show that we used to love, April. Oh man, the one with the oval. I
know what you're
talking
about.
My girl, Olivia Pope.
Olivia
Pope.
Scandal.
I believe there's some Olivia Popes in the industry that are PR recovery. You understand? It's like, oh, we could delete that. We could get that taken off. Like, certain things, if you pay the right price, can go away. You know what I'm saying? In this industry. So it's like, I look at that and I say, how long have y'all been hiding this man's secrets? Cassie what time it was years ago. Why did it just take for now for you to come out and say what you're saying, and now all these other allegations come out after that? Like,
I feel like she was afraid. I mean, if the men were afraid of what could happen to them, imagine her. That in some of the documentations, it said like he would like kind of like mistreat her so inappropriately that he would have her almost like a dog. You know what I'm saying? There was a video that showed her kind of like covering herself, trying to stay. So imagine the things that happened in their home that she had to deal with, watching him supposedly sleep with other men, perform sexual acts with other people in front of him. I think a lot of that is very traumatizing. And when you feel alone and you're very vulnerable, it's really hard for you to talk about, because as women, we become embarrassed.
mm-hmm.
And I think that after she won the lawsuit, I do think that she is working with other people, and they've reassured her that they're going to have her back. And
Right.
now she feels safe to put it all out there. And I just say that more things are going to come. More is going to come about this, because the feds just took all the computers and all the hardware and start looking who Diddy's been associated with. So they said that he was having kind of like the Jeff Epstein parties up in his house. So
But that was been said. This was not something that was new. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been going on since the Hamptons, since they've been partying in the Hamptons. Like, it was years of this, of, you know, and not even that. Diddy has been very vocal about dating young women. Like, all of his girlfriends have been younger, you know, a lot younger than him. Look at Young Miami. Look at, you know, it's like, look at what's her name, Laura Harvey. You know, his son was dating him, then he was dating her. Like,
Right.
you know, there's certain situations that have transpired that people have kind of just turned a blind eye to.
Quiet, like Faith Evans up back in the day too. Didn't Faith Evans used to sing for him too? Was it Faith?
Yeah, she was his artist. She was his artist,
and she was a really great artist. What about Little Kim? Was it Little Kim? Mama, Il Nana, whatever. They all these girls work for these people.
But this is where it's like, now, you know, certain stories are going to come out, and we just have to know what's real and what's not. I don't, like I said, I don't want to ever decimate a man's character. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's hard as Black men in this country. And I think that, you know, certain things are viewed differently for different cultures and for different races. And, you know, we've turned blind eyes to white men doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? We've turned blind eyes to other, you know, races doing this for years, or we just accept it. But as soon as it's a Black man, you know, it's the world's ending. So I just, you know, certain things like that, I just want to, you know, kind of, we can have open discussions, you know what I'm saying? But as far as trying to like tear a man down, like, I don't want to do that. Like, and that's one of the things that Benzino said that I definitely respected, was that, you know, as soon as it's a Black man, like, everybody goes to, you know, degrade him and talk bad of him. But when you're around him, he's your savior and he's your hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, come on now. Like,
yeah,
it's innocent until proven guilty in this country. What they say we should live by. And, you know, we just have to see the proof. We just have to see the evidence. From Diddy's camp, they said that all this is just a witch hunt. And they're, you know, the feds are using excessive force and, you know, certain things like that. So we never know.
Well, I will say, my thing about the whole feds and excessive force, it's like, okay, well, they're the feds. What did you expect? You didn't expect them to come up in there with guns drawn. They didn't know what situation they were coming for. So I really, the whole her being mad because the guns were pointed in her son's face. What did you expect? They're the feds. They're not the average police. They're coming in there guns drawn. They're getting all this type of sex trafficking allegations. They don't know if you up in there with guns drawn, ready to bust back. So I'm sorry that your son had a gun in his face, but like, they're the feds. So I'm sorry. What did you expect? And I honestly, I'm kind of like,
who son had a gun in their face?
It doesn't make me mad like that. Diddy's son, I guess Misa, one of his baby mamas, was like, they pointed a gun at the back of his head and they had laser beams pointed at them. okay, it might have been excessive, but they're the feds. What do you expect? I expect them to go big or go home. Like me personally,
but I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect guns drawn if you're looking for sex trafficking. I would expect, a civilized search. Like I would not expect, because I mean, if it's one thing if you think that there's weapons in the home, or you're acting out of
they
fear of,
did.
you know what I'm saying? Like that's when you go come guns drawn, when you think there's an
and let's be honest, they knew he was black. So they was coming excessive. So my thing is, you mad, but like be mad at your baby daddy for putting your sons in that situation for it to even happen. Because guess what? If he just being a music producer and doing stuff the right way and not abusing people, we would, it's like witch hunt. Okay, that's what they are. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, I believe everything Cassie said. I've been like, everything on the outside, we see it. Oh, it looks glitter and glam. Like, why did it take her so long to say something? He probably made her sign an NDA and that shit probably expired. Like, or she was probably scared. She was just, I mean, it's the same reason why I was in a situation and never said XYZ, because we just don't in that situation,
well,
but it's
the thing was that she did have an NDA, but in the NDA, it was voided because cops were called during their relationship. So that's why she spoke up, because there was a clause in the NDA. So, it took some time, for that to be developed and for her to know that, okay, now I can speak up. But it basically, pulled the trigger on so many other allegations. And that's my problem with this situation, is the Me Too's. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, now you're going to go back on, like they say, a witch hunt. Like you're pulling up and you're, anybody who can say or give you some type of allegation that this is what happened with him is now on the pedestal, is on the, I have these allegations. And it's hard. It's hard to differentiate what's real and what's not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you don't know what the media outlets are portraying or what they're, putting out there. It's like, it's hard,
Well, all I can say is I don't really care that he's black. I don't care about, like, everybody needs to get what's coming to them, whether it's Epstein, this one, that one. I don't care about you being a black man. I have black sons and do right, and you won't have this problem. I don't care about the race. All of them need to go down. If they did it, they need to go down, because you're black does not buy you a pass with me. You are not my brother. You're not my father's son. You're not my mother's child. You are another black person. Doesn't mean I automatically am going to be like, oh, woo, woo, woo. I don't give a two shits. But I just feel like everybody, like pedophiles, abusers, regardless who it is, you all need to go
People
down.
that think that they're in power because their money can shut you up.
I'm tired of these men, period, thinking they can just do this. Whether you're black, white, Chinese, all of them. And it's like,
but you don't think that there's a level of mental health issues as well with these people that have these issues? R. Kelly, they talk about him and his issues from childhood and how he was illiterate. He couldn't even read. He had trauma. And coming from an abusive, sexually abused trauma childhood for myself, I can honestly say you become, aware that you now could be this person as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they teach you in counseling that basically, like, because you've went through this, you might now in turn, put your trauma onto someone else. Like incest is, in families, it's like, how does it's generational. It comes from, oh, well, my brother did it to me, or my cousin did it to me, so I'm going to do it to somebody else, like, or to the next person. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like a lot of it doesn't make it wrong. No, it doesn't make it right at all. But I think there's an attention to understand that people, we live in a very sick world. You know what I'm saying? Mentally. Like, I think there's a lot of mental health issues that and flags that we ignored. You know, we could, people been said that Diddy was possessive and, you know, very territorial over Cassie and over his women and over, you know, certain situations. And it's like, but no one's actually ever looked into it, and no one's ever actually, you know, talked about it. So it's like, you know, I feel like you know, certain signs and certain things that I've seen with him where he was having these outbursts and he became brother love, and I felt like he had come to his level of reckoning, and he was trying to change whoever he's been, or every time that he changed his name. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's a level of mental health there. Like, wait a minute.
And it's like, and I get the mental health, but like if it was my child, all that goes out the window. You're old enough to get help. If you're old enough to do all this, 40s or 50s, if you're old enough to do all this sneaky stuff and pay sex workers, and I don't care about your mental health. Sorry, tell somebody who cares. Because if it's my child, or my loved one, I'm not trying to hear you guys. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody grows up with stuff. How you deal with it as an adult is what matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm tired of like, mental health is definitely, but like, that's not, as a parent, as a protector, come with something else, because that don't move me, because I'm crazy too.
The judges ain't gonna overlook it either. They're gonna say, well, you're 50 years old. You went through that in your childhood. How long ago was that? If you had all this money, why didn't you do something to change your circumstances? Why did you
giving all white parties and dancing in videos? You don't seem too messed up to me. You seem like you living the best life, dressing up as the Joker and Batman, flossing and doing this and that. Mental health, my ass, Diddy.
April said she ain't hearing that mental health shit. Nah, mate.
But I do understand that it's real, and I do understand sometimes people who are abused do that. And, you know, I applaud the people that, you know, do take steps to, you know, prevent that from possibly being their outcome. But it's like, money is the root of all evil in this situation. These men, regardless what color they are, they thought they could get away with it, and the chickens are coming home to roost, and oh well.
I feel like the name changes were more of a business aspect type of thing. Every time you change your name, you know, you change it kind of like your trail. And at the end of the day, I don't think that had anything with him.
I felt like it did because Diddy, regardless. You're going to be Puff Daddy no matter what. Like, you change your name to Brother Love and you spreading love now and you the love man. Like, what is that about? Because you're holding some evil. There's something behind the mask that you're trying to run from to me. When he was riding around in Cali going crazy and people didn't know what was wrong with him, I think that was his breaking point. I think the powers that be were getting to him and telling him, we're going to expose you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell in a person's eyes. You can tell when they're not safe, when they're not, you know, mentally stable. And look, I seen it with Kanye. Kanye, you know, that's another thing we were going to touch upon today, is the whole Kanye and Bianca.
Oh, he has some mental issues right there. Now
like, why are you letting your wife walk around like that? Would you let your daughter, like, you're sexually exploiting this woman, I think. Honestly,
is she dressing
but we're
herself
okay
like that? I seen her walk around with some things that I don't know. I asked myself, is this really the style?
Is this fashion?
Yes. Is this fashion?
Because if this is fashion,
I can't get down.
I can't do it.
I can't do it. You know,
she got literally nothing
and
on.
she don't mind.
And she don't mind.
So confident, and her man amps her head up that she can go sit in a restaurant, her kundalini out, everything out, and she could just be sitting there unbothered.
I'm just like, you ain't cool.
I'm the one that's still trying to, you know, like pick up my shirt. And could you imagine walking around with overalls just covering, you know, I said, okay.
Yeah,
that was scary.
Yeah.
I was like, but when he let his daughters walk around like this, like, you know, like, I seen a post where somebody said it and I was like, yeah, for real. Like, I don't know what level of, okay,
because Men like that always they have no problem exploiting their women, but let it be their mother, their sister, their auntie, and they be ready to
All
go.
of a sudden,
Make it
it's
make sense. That's
Make
why
it make sense.
that's why sometimes God gives certain type of dudes nothing but girls, because
yeah, reap what
Those
you
are the
sow.
guys, for real. The guys that got nothing but girls, those were the players.
Yep.
Those are the
And
ones that are gonna
scared.
get
They
10
be
times
scared
back.
too.
Like,
And I'm like, karma is coming.
like listen, yo, that it comes
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
It comes back. How you treat women, you're gonna have a daughter. You're gonna have a woman that you care about, and they're gonna treat her like that. And how are you gonna feel? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel bad because he doesn't even know his karma that he's displaying right now. Like, and it's so crazy because, like I said, he is definitely, yeah, Jezebel spirits. Angela, shout out to Angela, shout out to Jig. They're tuned in. Thank you guys for tuning in and giving your comments and, you know, giving feedback. I just think it's
like, pick the boobs up. The boobs just be. I'm like, looks like she's just so uncomfortable, cold and uncomfortable.
I know. Like, I just
So
So
it's
it
like
don't
a
even be
little
really
wet chicken, right?
but you're not even giving nobody nothing to think about, like, or to like question. Like, you're just putting it all out there on display. Like, look at me. Like, I'm just like, okay.
And then in a couple of years when they leave each other, there's this whole trail of her, you know, and him, he just continues to be a man.
Yeah.
So I think that's like really important too, as being a woman, knowing what it is that you really want displayed and what you don't. You know, some women, they just want to satisfy a man so bad they don't care how they're doing it. They just do it.
That's true.
So
that's so true. So, and then Kimora Lee's daughter and Russell Simmons' daughter, because, you know, there was a phone call that was recorded, that she recorded, where Russell was cussing her out and like basically saying, you know, you bitches asking for money and da 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 da, and what do you think I am, and like he basically left her out to dry type of thing, and she aired it out, and basically said like they, you know, he basically said they were money hungry. Her mother and her sister. And, you know, we always thought that behind the scenes. I'm not going to lie. I always thought Kimora was there for the money. But now to see her daughter following in her footsteps of dating an older man, they're saying basically she was groomed to be that. And I was like, you know, I don't see no foul play. I don't see no, you know, like, she got it from her mama. Like, she know, listen, this man is gonna financially stabilize me, and he's gonna take care of me, and why not?
And when you're looking kind of like what's out there in 2024, yes, she can go date somebody her age.
Yeah.
But if she just has to give minimal to someone and still have the financial benefit, you know, what do you do with elderly people? Take them to go play bingo, walk around with them, you know.
Like, but
trying
when
to
you
impress
give
somebody.
But when you give this person this privileged life, their whole life, you see what I'm saying? She's been privileged her whole life. You know what I mean? So she now, daddy tells you, I'm not taking care of you no more. Go find it on your own.
She did.
What you think she gonna do?
And she did it good too. She got herself $1 billion man, didn't she?
Yeah. What you think she gonna do? Like, that's all she know. Her mama said, hey, I had to get in where I fit in. Like, I found a rich, you know, hip hop, you know, CEO who took care of me, who, you know, funded the lifestyle that I live. And she was able to move out on her own and do her own thing. And I mean, it's crazy to see, you know, it happening over again. But I was like, wow, but it's still relevant. You know, a lot of these younger girls, they want sugar daddies. I'm not gonna lie, I used to want a sugar daddy. Like, listen,
I don't know.
I used to be like, listen, if an older guy, because I felt like they would take care of me. They would, you know, teach me things. Like, I wouldn't have to question certain things with them that the younger guys were playing games and doing and breaking hearts, and just no level of, you know, depth. I was like, dude, you want to play video games? Like, I'm not trying to play video games. Like, I don't like. No, that wasn't what I was trying to do at 16, 17, 18. I was trying to make money and start a business.
I was.
So for me, video games and all that, the things that guys were into my age, I wasn't into. So, I mean, understandably, I had my own, you know, reasons, but I just feel like, sometimes that's what's portrayed is that, oh, you get an older man, he'll take care of you financially. And sometimes that's not even the case. You know what I'm saying? Some people just want the stability and the commitment.
And they don't even end up with it. I mean, they get a couple of months of, that first grooming thing. And then after that, they're like, oh, I can't even stand to pick up his phone calls. And that's why, like, from when I was young, as a matter of fact, my whole life, even now, I can't, me, T, I can't even fake it. I don't want no sugar daddy. I go out there and get my money. If I got to be uncomfortable with getting naked for you or spending time with you or being around you, I'm good. I'm somebody, I like to choose what I like.
That's right.
And if what I like is poison for me, I'm going to find out later, which it has been poison.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
it was my choice.
It took for me to go through things in life for me to realize I never wanted to be codependent on a man. And that for me is where I feel like I found my independence. Not every woman finds that independence. I find that there's some women who are very codependent on a man, on their significant other. They expect the man to take care of them. They expect the man to do all these things. And it's like, okay, you can have those expectations to a certain extent, but are you doing yours? Yeah, like, are you doing your part? Like, because I want to be able to hold my own. I want to know that if something happens to my man, if he's injured or whatever, I can still hold us down. That is the woman I want to be. I don't want to be the woman that has to figure it out if something happens to this man. Like, that for me is, I think, where I just understood that I never wanted that, so looking for a man to financially take care of me has never been my standard of living. You know what I'm saying? There's some women who that's their standard of living and they just want the financial stability. And I don't know. I don't think there's no depth with that. So,
and there's some women that just have that mindset, to go give it to someone for free, I might as well go get my money for it. Again, I think it all goes back to beliefs and characters, because in some cultures, women aren't even allowed to work. I mean, here in the United States, we've been lucky enough that we've had a lot of freedom compared to like a lot of countries around the world. But overall, I think like every relationship should have some type of stability where both people are bringing in a little bit of money as a balance and as an emergency, because right now, the way the economy is, and this recession and everything, especially being so expensive, why wouldn't you guys both want to pour into each other when it comes to finances?
Right.
Why would you want to be responsible completely for someone else?
And
unless you got it like that.
But I think financial is the biggest problem in a lot of relationships. When you break it down, you get down to it. I remember, one of my relationships, it was like my ex, I came home and he was like, I'm mad you make more money than me. Like, he had just got a new job. And the first thing he said was that. And I'm like,
oh, when people say, oh, because you're better than me, what do you consider better? There is no better. We're equal people. We're both trying to find our own ways in life, on our own journey. And if I can do something and you're interested in doing something, let me know and I'll support you. I'll give you some ideas, but just for the plain simple fact that you're telling me, do I think that I'm better than you because I've accomplished something? I don't know how to feel about that.
Right. And insecurity is the biggest, thing, but it's so much a turnoff, but it's also like, I had to realize I can't date a man that makes less than me because he's never going to feel, as a superior. He's never going to feel equal. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard because, a lot of times, some men, they make more than the women, or they don't. And it's because they don't have any education or they don't have any experience or backgrounds and things like that. So, it also depends on the type of person you're dating. You know what I'm saying? Do they have a work history? Do they, have the certain credentials to go out and get a job and, get a good job that's going to pay them, a substantial, amount of money? Like, and what are you making, in regards to what is your, level of finance? And it's hard. It's not easy because, like I said, that is the balance right there. It's like you said, Denise, having that equal, relationship
through both sides. And I mean, I think a lot of people need to come to common grounds nowadays. If you meet someone and they're at a different level in their life, but they're working towards something better, they're working towards something, not saying something, working. You see them putting in the work, you know that later on, you guys are still going to be able to balance each other out. That's not perception or, like what it's that they're actually doing the work. But I feel like today and date, everybody should be busy.
Yeah. True.
Too many unbusy minds, and that's why there's people cheating. That's why people are getting murdered. Everybody's sticking, to the internet and chit chat and just looking for a distraction out of the way of real life. Because let's be real, being financially unstable brings fear. And what does bring fear? Scattered brains, people everywhere, everywhere. People doing things they ain't supposed to be doing just to secure the dollar.
That's right. We can go on and on, April. I know you probably, the baby's probably up.
No, he's not up, but I'm like, I got at least 30 more minutes to myself before he
baby. Baby, you take that. Yes. You take that. I love you. Yo, we're only supposed to go for an hour just because with Roku and Fire TV, now you can find us on that under the Boom Boom Room channel. Shout out to our affiliates. Shout out to everybody that's been making this possible. Our first show last week was a hit. Denise, that'll be airing next week on Roku as well. This show will be airing next week on Roku. I'm going to get this over to him today. And next week we have D Sharp talking about dating in the industry. We're going to try to come up with some different, scenarios with dating in the industry. Bring your best dating in the industry relationship, and just tell us what you think about it and why it motivates you, inspires you, or it doesn't. I know Blueface and Krishana Rock, that's one that definitely boils me.
All the time.
It boils me. It just boils me.
How about when she put his face on the cheek? I said, if you was my daughter, how dare you?
Yeah, it's definitely some things we're going to talk about. We're going to switch it up.
So toxic, Jesus.
Yes, baby. These boys are toxic.
But is it his fault or is it their fault?
But then
both.
Look at the parents stuff. The parents play a big part in this too.
I even hate the way he talks. I'm like, ain't nobody gonna pipe me down that great to make me feel like that. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Like, hold up.
Wait a minute.
I'm submissive, but I ain't that submissive.
We ain't that submissive.
Like, listen. Hold up. Who you talking to? Like, wait a minute. Like, nah. There's a level of, I think once you get to a level of disrespect that they've gotten to, there's no more going back. You can't go back.
I think that whole that ain't my kid thing. I mean, your personal thing with me, was one thing, and I should have let you go. And after you started dragging my kid and started talking about my kid on TV too, you took it more than just the me and you thing. And I'm somebody that I'm real when it comes to my kids. So I don't think that there's a man that I would like go there with again, that put me out there, especially like on national TV as his child not being his, and then talking about like just personal stuff about this child, just to get some clout. It would have been over. I don't know, man. But hey, more power to her. I love it though how she goes from the church thing to the gangster thing, because I do that too sometimes. During my healing journey, I did that too. I'd be out there, and then you see me, oh, happy day, and then I'd be, little girl gangster, get it. I mean, life is a journey, and it's definitely a process, and we all don't know the right way, right? We're all just learning.
Say shout out to Angela, great job, Queens, love and blessings.
Yes.
All
thank you.
You says love and blessings to you. Happy Sunday. I want to say thank you guys. Thank you for being great co-hosts, and shout out to Dating Reset. Thanks for coming and being a part of our show today. And we look forward to more things to come in 2024. Education, knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
UpNorth City Girls, you are now tuned in. We're out of here, okay? We got other things to do.
Sunday.
Love you, April.
Bye, April.
Love you all.
Yeah.
Bless you too, Jigs.
Yes, Jig, John Jig, my MVP of all time, no matter what. Jig, for us. I love you, baby.
Thank you, Jay.
We're going to have you come up on here and talk to us. Tell us
Yeah.
about your dating and relationships you got
Give
going
us some
on.
pointers of
You
it.
know what I'm saying? We're going to have Jay come up here and talk to us. All right. Let's see what he said, and then we're going to tune out. But this is great that everybody's tuning in on Sunday. Yeah. Angela, you need to come up here too.
Yeah.
Yes, Mama. My girls in St. Lucius.
Is it St. Lucia?
Port Lucius.
Ooh.
I always Florida. Yeah, she's been out there for over 10 years. She
Okay.
left. She was like, I'm out of Boston. I'm out of New England. I'm out. See you guys
feeling that
later.
warm weather over there.
Yes, and she ain't came back.
No wonder why she's over there able to ground
Yeah,
and
you
all
gotta
that
talk.
other stuff.
Oh, okay, guys. All right. We can stay here all day and do this.
All right. Happy
Follow us.
Sunday.
Follow us, like,
Yes.
share, comment.
Monday.
We definitely gonna read out your comments. I'm definitely gonna have some engagement posts this week. So make sure you guys tune in on all our social media platforms. And it's been a pleasure.
It has been.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Hey, that hurt.
Gotta say it. Taste, taste. She can get a taste. Taste, taste. She can get a taste. Taste, taste. What did it say?